In this series, we are going to be starting from absolutely nothing and trying to acquire all the riches that Los Santos has to offer. Welcome to Broke to Ballin. Hello there guys, today we're back in our CEO office, which we haven't been at in a long time apart from gathering the snacks from the useless woman up front. And that's because today we are what did I just do? And that's because today we are going to be buying a new business, or a little like subsidiary of a business, I guess you could call it, and that is the vehicle warehouse. Now, personally, this is one of my favorite ways to make money in the entire game, even though it's one of the first things that was ever added to really make any sort of money. And the reason why is because you get to drive fast cars, or at least most of the time. Sometimes you drive some shit cars, but we just kind of have amnesia and forget about those times. So when you buy a vehicle warehouse, you come over to your CEO office and you get all these different options. All of them have the exact same amount of car spaces, which is 40. The only difference is location. So going for something like this being 2.8 million or going for this, which is 1.5. Personally, I think it'd be pretty stupid to go for anyone else except for this one because they're overpriced. And anyways, all we have is 1.5 million, so we're going to go ahead and get the one in La Mesa. And then, of course, you can customize the internals of it, but that's not necessary because no. And now, once you've bought a warehouse, the screen will look like this. It shows you your warehouse. You can see where it is on the map if you really care that much. You can go, what did I just do? You can go ahead and source a vehicle. I don't know. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. You get this screen, you can renovate it here, you can look at the warehouse map, you can see how much you've earned, which of course is 0 for me at the moment. You can see at the top how many vehicles you've stolen, your success rate, which if it's below 100%, you need help. How many vehicles you've exported, which is how many you've sold after you've stolen them, and also the success rate of the export, which if you have under 100%, I won't blame you because sometimes the export missions can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But let's get into it. We can source a vehicle from here, and later on, I'm going to show you an even better method to source vehicles that saves you a lot of time. But for now, we're just going to do it from here. So source vehicle, confirm, and what do we get? An 811, perfect. So as you can see in the bottom left, it says value top range. Now with this business, there are 3 types of vehicles. Dan, learn to speak. There is top range, mid range, and low range, or standard range and low range. I don't know the exact names, but basically there's good, medium, and garbage. And the main difference between the 3 vehicle types is one, top range vehicles will obviously sell for more, mid range will sell for an alright amount, and low range will sell for pretty much nothing. And then the other difference is of course what type of vehicles they are. Top range vehicles are almost always superclass, and I think there might be some classics and sport cars in there. Medium range will be stuff like sedans, some sport cars, maybe some SUVs, and then low range will be the rest of the garbage in the game. And also, yes, this is the vehicle that we got in the last episode for completing the last dose. It's good. And I also did figure out why we couldn't do the time trial on it last time, or at least I believe I found out. Apparently because I put on mines, like sticky mines in the back of the car, it doesn't let you do the time trial. I don't know why. I don't know why that would make any of a difference, but that is the reason. So there you go. But here we are at the location, and there is the car right in there. But unfortunately, we don't have the keys for it. I don't know why that's an issue, considering every other car in the game, we literally just break into and hotwire, but don't worry about it. And how do they spot me? How do they just... Okay, whatever. Why did you aim at the ground? Lad, my character must be on drugs today. No, aim. Oh my... The auto-aim in this game is really, really off sometimes, I won't lie. Ow. Who's even shooting me? Where? Now, as I was trying to say before I got rudely interrupted, one of the reasons why I think this is one of my favorite businesses in the entire game, or just money makers in general, is one, obviously driving the cool, fast cars I really enjoy, but 2, there's a lot of really unique missions to get the cars in the first place, with, for example, the crate missions for the CEO warehouse, or a lot of other things like the nightclub missions, or the, what's another business? I can't think of any. Bunker missions, for example. There are a few different variations of the missions to source and sell stuff. However, there's not that many and they get very boring and repetitive very quickly. However, with this business, you have about 40 different types of cars, and then within those 40 different types of cars, you have different missions and also the same types of missions at different locations. So there's probably hundreds of different variations of missions you can get when sourcing these vehicles, which means it's a lot more refreshing to do and a lot more enjoyable over a long period of time. Of course, the downside is that it's not as profitable as some other businesses. For example, doing Kaya Perico is going to be much much better than doing this. There's no doubt about it. However, if you're just wanting to make a few 100k an hour, if that sometimes, have a good time, crash some cool cars, and even test out some cool vehicles, it's a really, really fun business to have. Personally, one of the reasons why I like it so much is that while it doesn't have every car in the game, it has a lot of vehicles that you may be on the fence about buying. Like, for example, this 811 right here, the Fiesta 811. I love that name. It's fantastic. If you're on the fence about buying this car, you can go do some of these missions and you can try it out, which is really great. Before like Simeon's auto shop, before Simeon's car shop was open to the public in an update only about 6 months ago, the only way to really test vehicles was this or getting your friends to buy them for you. Because Simeon's cars only have so many on rotation each week, this is still a really nice way to test out some vehicles. For example, the Progen T20's in here, the Osiris is in here, the 811's in here. You also have classic vehicles like the Adder. I might be overhyping it a bit, but I don't really care. Back in the day in 2014 or whatever when this came out, this was one of the best money makers in the game, and because I'm a nostalgia merchant, I love this stuff. It's fantastic. Being chased by helicopters isn't though. I don't really like that. But here we go at our warehouse. All you have to do is drive the car up to the door and you're done. And if you did see in the bottom right corner of that drive, there is a damage number basically. So the only downside of this, oh god, is my goddamn assistant. Please commit suicide. So as I was saying, as I was rudely interrupted again by my dreadful assistant, in the bottom right before you could see a damage number, and basically when you're delivering the vehicle back to this warehouse and also to the buyer in the end, however much you damage the car is how much comes out of your total earnings. So if you damage it almost completely, you'll get nothing, but if you manage to be a sneaky little bastard and get no money off of it, then you make a lot of money. But now for those of you who don't know, let me just give you a quick little rundown on how the whole selling of this business works. So you sit down at your laptop with no charger like usual in this game, you log on to the services, and then you're gonna have someone explain it to you for you. God damn it. Let's not worry about him though. So the way it works is you have, like I said, top range, and I'll have medium and low range, or standard and low, whatever the names are, whenever I source those other vehicles. Now, the way you want to do this business is only sourcing top range vehicles. And the way you do that, you might ask, is how? I don't know where I was going with that sentence. So the way it works is that there's 40 slots, and those 40 slots can be filled up by, I think, something like 15 standard, 15 mid-range, and 10 top-range vehicles. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like that. So what happens is when you source all the medium and all the low-range vehicles, from that point on, you can only source top-range vehicles. It takes a bit of time to set this business up to max efficiency, obviously. I got lucky and got a top-range vehicle straight away. However, next time I might get a low-range vehicle, and next time I might get another low-range vehicle, and then I might get a top-range vehicle. So what you want to do is source it until your warehouse is completely full and only sell top range vehicles. That means you'll get the most amount of money at every single sale mission. This may take a while, but in the end, it is very, very worth it. Trust me. But basically, when you have that set up, which I will at some point, you go ahead and export your top range vehicles, which you can obviously do if you get one just in general because you want the money. So you export that, and here it says the market value of the vehicles. Don't worry about that. That's just how much the car costs. And then the delivery commission. And the delivery commission is obviously the price, but this 40,000 is kind of wrong because that's selling it to a private buyer, which basically is someone who's going to be much closer. Showroom is going to be someone who's a bit further away, and a commission officer, sorry, what am I saying? A specialist dealer is going to be someone that's really far away. Just imagine this as when you're doing the Diamond Casino heist and you have the close buyer, the middle buyer, and the far buyer for different amounts of money. That's the same thing. So when you do a specialist dealer, you'll get $100,000, but then you also have to take 20,000 off for customizing the vehicle. That's the word. It took me like a good 10 seconds to think of the word customizing. That is embarrassing. Now, I don't know why they don't just show 80,000. Rockstar like to make things overcomplicated for no reason, but basically you take 20,000 off, so this will be 80,000, and then you also take off the price of all the damages you've collected while delivering the vehicle. So for example, if you have 5,000 in damages, 20,000 in modifications, you will get 75,000 for this vehicle, which, you know, it's up to you whether you think that is good or not. I think it's pretty all right if you're just doing some very casual grinding, just want an easy mission, drive some cars. But if you really want to make really, really good money, then it's probably better doing some auto shop contracts or whatever. But then again, this is a really good thing to do like in between cooldowns of Cayo Perico or the contract. So it's just a good option to have. But that's enough explaining. Let's get into it. So we go special dealer, we confirm that, and then you customize it. And then this is very similar to the auto shop and bike house missions. Why is my hair looking like that again? Except you don't have specific details you have to do. You can just customize it however you want. You just have to customize it a little bit so it looks different from when you stole the vehicle. So you can change the primary color, change the wheels to some high-end chrome wheels, wheels. My pronunciation of the English language is very bad today. And then basically you take the car and you deliver it. Now you're going to get a lot of different locations, some a little bit closer, some a little bit further away, and you will also typically be chased by enemies if you're in a private lobby, but you won't be chased if you're in a public lobby on average. I don't know if that's been changed since I've last done this, but typically when I've done this in the past, if you're in if you're in like an invite only lobby or a friends lobby, you'll typically have these enemies spawn and chase you, and they are a real pain in the ass because they shoot you and you don't have bulletproof tires. So try and outrun them. It's kind of difficult sometimes, but I'm sure you can do it. And then if you're in a public lobby, I believe they don't spawn, or over a certain amount of players in your session, they won't spawn. If you want to take the risk of playing in a public session and hoping people won't blow you up with oppressors, you can do that. Or if you want to test your skill against the AI, you can also do that. It's completely up to you. But yeah, like I was saying before, in the bottom right there, we have the commission number. Right now it's at 99,380. Now it's gone down because they've been shot again by the bastards. And basically that will go down and down and down the more you get damaged. And then the final number will be what you get minus 20,000 for the customization, which we will see at the end. We just need to actually get to the buyer without dying, which shouldn't be too difficult. But then again, my skill level is abysmal at times. Now I believe this one I got here is actually the closest delivery you can get. You can get some that are really far away or in the hills, which is really annoying with like the tight turns and enemies following you. This one's pretty good at Martin Madrazo's place. You just simply deliver it up here. Try not to crash. There we go. And that was what, 2 minutes for a delivery? And to get the car in the first place, maybe like 3. So 5 minutes or so per vehicle. And I got 98k minus 20, so $78,000. $78,000 in about 5 minutes? Pretty good. Now this service does have a cooldown. I think it's something like 5 or 10 minutes from when you source a vehicle to getting the next one. So you do have to keep that in mind, but in general, it's a dub. I'm a fan of it. Now, like I was saying earlier, there is another way to go ahead and source vehicles that is much more efficient, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. So let's head back to not the CEO office, but to our garage. That's what it's called, right? The warehouse, that's the word. I feel like I need like a bullet list on my monitor of like terms and words that I need to learn how to say and remember. I should have like flashcards. That's what it should be. Because God, without them, I'm hopeless, aren't I? Okay, now here we are. Now we don't want to go inside just yet because we're probably actually gonna have to drive somewhere else. And that's because we are going to go ahead and get our terabyte. Now, if you don't remember, the terabyte is the MOC of the nightclub, basically. This is where you store your Oppressor Mark II and masturbate sometimes if you want to. Basically, we spawn this, wait for it to appear, wherever that may be. Hello, there we go. And once you arrive, you want to stop your car, get out of it because it's small and disgusting, and get into the big, long black boy. Don't question the way I say things. It's fine. Now, once you're in, drive it back to your warehouse. It shouldn't be too difficult. I hope you're not that inept at the game. If you were, I don't know what to say, to be honest. Once you drive it back, you can park it really wherever you want. It doesn't have to be outside the warehouse. It just does make this whole entire process much quicker. And then you want to hop inside the nerve center, which is just the back of the truck, really. And once we're in here, we can go up to the touchpad, put our disgusting fingers on it to unlock it, and then we can go ahead to vehicle cargo. And this will basically source a vehicle exactly the same as we did in our CEO business. And the reason why this is so much more efficient is that before you get an MOC, before you get a terabyte, not MOC, and before you're able to do this, every single time you deliver a vehicle to your warehouse and then sell it, you have to go back to your CEO office to source another vehicle. However, if we do this, we just come back here every time and makes the whole entire process a little bit quicker. So like I said, source vehicle, confirm, and we get it doesn't tell us what we got. That's fantastic. Thank you. Really appreciate it. We get I don't know why it's not telling me if it's like high or low range. Thanks, I guess. Sure. But we have to go to get a God, I'm really struggling. Valerie, oh God. I don't know where it is. Oh no, we have to use the photo, right? I did not see that. So we have a photo here. It is in Palito Forest at the wood chopping place, lumberyard, that's the right word. Basically this area. If you're gonna roast me in the comments, just like insult my looks or something, not my intelligence, please. Now, if you want to make this even more efficient, obviously you just use an Oppressor Mark II or a helicopter or a jet to get over there, but I got this vehicle in the last episode and I don't want to continue driving it. Otherwise it feels like I did all those last dose missions for nothing, which to be honest is probably a fact. I will say one of the downsides about this business is when you get some missions like this, they make you drive so far. Like why? I know I'm being stupid by not using my oppressor, but let me be stubborn and crash into every literal thing on the pathway. But yeah, it is quite annoying, especially when the vehicle you get isn't the greatest. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the Velivera is. It might be a good car, it might be a special car, but here we are at the lumberyard, or the whatever you want to call it. If we can just get up on the side, that would be helpful. There should be a car around here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. I just gotta find out where, which might be the difficult part, to be honest. All right, Villavera, you get what I'm trying to say? Oh my god, where is it? Might want to get the photograph out again, because otherwise I'm never gonna find this. It just has a picture of the building. That's not very helpful. Can you stop flipping over? Okay, I'm not liking this car, to be honest. Why am I driving it? I need to get a better car in the next episode, don't I? Or just more cars in general. I haven't really bought many vehicles on this account at all, honestly. Like, I got this for free. I got my oppressor because it's good. There's my vehicle. But I should buy some new vehicles. Leave a comment down below of what I should buy, because give me some suggestions. And don't make it some garbage thing, because I already have a Panto. But here we go. The Bravado. Now, I'm not going to take the forest route back, because that is the definition of hell. I'm just going to go on the highway like a normal person, and not drive like a normal person, because I'm definitely going to upset the citizens. Oh well, who cares? They're NPCs. Literally. Now, like I said earlier, you want to do your best not to crash, because that will involve losing money. Now, if you've watched any of the previous 20 episodes of this series, first of all, go ahead and do it if you haven't, and if you have, go ahead and watch them a second time. But if you have, you would know I do crash quite often, so this is the time where I have to use 125.9% of my brain power, because if I don't, then I'm gonna lose all of my money. Thank God I don't drive in real life. Well, isn't this just relaxing? Driving back from the forest after stealing a vehicle that I can't pronounce. No enemies, no crashing, just vibes. I'm really bored. And after the most exciting, thrilling, orgasmic journey of my entire life, we are finally back at the vehicle warehouse. Now I guess we get to see if this vehicle is top range, because for some reason it didn't tell me important information, which is kind of like blue balling me, which isn't fun. Now, it is a mid-range vehicle, which means it is mid. But now that we have a mid vehicle, I can kind of explain the rest of the stuff to you, or at least show you. So if we go to export this, we can't. I can't read clearly. So here is where the timer is. So I think it's something like a 10-15 minute cooldown. Correct me if I'm wrong. And basically you have to wait until you can export another vehicle. But basically if I went to export this mid-range vehicle, it would have a lesser commission and obviously a lesser selected market value. Why did I say selected? It would be less money. So what you want to do is never sell this. Just keep it there. It will fill up the slots. And eventually the more and more mid and low range vehicles you will get, you will have less and less to collect. And once you hit a certain point, you will only ever get top range vehicles, which means you can only sell top range vehicles, which means you make more of that moolah. Yes, queen. Let's go outside and export another vehicle for the good fun of the world. Now, I don't believe there's a cooldown on sourcing vehicles. I might be wrong, so we can go ahead and take a look-see. Touch that dirty hand on there, you slag. And there is a cooldown as well, but it's a little bit less. I think it might be maybe only 5 minutes or something. So we wait a minute and 17 seconds, 16 seconds, 15. You get the point, for this to cool down, and then we can go ahead and do one. And there we go, the timer's done, and we can source another vehicle from here, making this my third vehicle of the day. Shut up, assistant. No one wants to hear from you. Like, why do you still exist? Like, piss off. And this time I get another top range vehicle, and it tells me I get a top range vehicle. Why did it not show me last time? This game makes no sense. But it is the X80 Proto, which is another supercar, a hypercar even, if you will. And for some reason, I think it's a bit glitched in this game. I don't know if it's still the issue, but the X80 Proto used to have a glitch where, depending on which nautical direction, so north, east, south, west you were going, it would go faster or slower, which obviously makes no goddamn sense. Rockstar just took a bit too much meth that day, but that was an issue. I don't know if it still is. It's kind of difficult to notice, I feel, unless you're really paying attention to it. Otherwise, you just like, I go fast now. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy to get another top range. That means we can sell it and get more money. I don't have anything to spend it on right now. Maybe the strip club, who knows, but it's good to have. Now, like I said earlier, the reason why this is one of my favorite businesses in the game is because of the variety of different source missions and source locations. The first one, we had that house in the hills where we had to kill some people, get a key and deliver it. That last one, we had to use a photo to find the location and go collect the car. And then this one's on Route 68. Now, I believe what this one is, if I can remember correctly, is it's been taken by the police, or the police are surrounding the vehicle and we have to go steal it from them and then lose the cops. I think. I might be wrong, but that is one of the types of missions, and I think it's usually around this area. So I guess we'll see if my memory is good enough or not. Probably not, but we can hope. But then there are other types of missions. Like, for example, I think my favorite one is there is a movie shoot, and the movie shoot will have the car on a ramp about to jump through a ring of flames, a ring of fire, if you will. And the car has boost in it. So you get in the car, you boost through this ring of fire, and it goes all slow motion and epic, and then you run away from all the cops and helicopters chasing you. It's very fun. Obviously, it means there's a higher chance that the vehicle's going to get damaged, which takes away the money. But if you're trying to play GTA and have some fun, which you should, stop grinding, you freaks. It's pretty nice. But let's see if I was correct on this one. I don't see any cops at the moment, so I might be wrong. Okay, nope, there they are. So there's different types of cop missions. Sometimes there's one where there's a helicopter floating above. Sometimes they're getting chased. But this one, the cops are just kind of chilling here. But they will die at my hands. Goodbye, lads. I nearly died, actually. I need to really be careful. I need to buy some food. I have no snacks or armor. Now we can go. And the cops have already lost us somehow. That's kind of embarrassing, I can't lie. But there's a helicopter. Need to run away from that as quick as possible. And I don't know how, but we've somehow managed to keep it on $0 already. So if we can keep it that way, that would be absolutely fan-fiddly-tastic. That's not a word. Why did the car just stop driving? Lad, no, keep moving your wheels, you weirdo. Maybe this is the issue I was talking about? I don't know. I don't remember it slowing down that much. It just stopped for some reason. Maybe the game just doesn't like me. That wouldn't surprise me. Okay, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Oh, they're gone? Oh, lovely. Cool. So we outran the cops, or just outsmarted them, really. We didn't really go very fast. They just kind of... What's the opposite of permanent? Temporary. They got temporary blindness. Maybe God does exist. And here we are back once again. Now, this is the third delivery I've done, and as you can see, apart from the missions, it is kind of repetitive. I guess it depends how you look at it. If you enjoy driving, this isn't going to get you too bored, but if you don't enjoy doing the back and forth thing, you know, sourcing, exporting, it might be a bit boring, but personally, I really enjoy it. I think it's a really chill way to make money in GTA, not too grindy, just kind of vibey. I don't know why I keep using that word. There's probably better ways to describe it, but I'm inept at the English tongue. But now we can go ahead and sell this vehicle, obviously being top range. Like we said, we never sell this, but I guess I can show you how much you would get for it. If you sold it a mid-range vehicle, you get 62.5 thousand minus 12.5, which is $50,000 minus however many, you know, damages you take. Yes, so the difference between a mid-range and a high range is $30,000, taking out of equation the damage. So see there that it's just not worth doing, really. So specialist dealer, as usual, confirm, take the tracker off, put on a nicer plate, and then you can customize it however you want. I also see this as a kind of a cool way to customize vehicles and test out different paint colors without really spending any money. So I kind of enjoy that as well. So we're going to go matte purple and white. Why not? Get some stock wheels on there, and then we leave. Now, where are we going for this delivery? Up in the hills. Okay, this one isn't too bad. Sometimes you get some of the houses like right in the middle of the hills and the curvy roads with enemies following you. It's just long, man. It ain't fun. This one's not too bad, so hopefully we don't lose too much money, but knowing this game, I definitely will, because they don't like me at all. Rockstar has a personal vendetta against the god that is Lankmandan. Yes, I did just describe myself as a god. I'm not a narcissist, do not worry. I will say though, the good thing about these top range vehicles being mostly supercars is that usually you can outspeed the enemies if you're quick enough. There are some top range vehicles that are classics, for example, the Z-Type, and I think the Sterling GT, and maybe there's one more. And those vehicles, while you can also still sell them because they are top range, I'd recommend not doing them because since they're not supercars, they're kind of more difficult to drive, more difficult to get away from the enemies from, and just kind of not worth it. Maybe do it once if you want to test out the vehicles, but apart from that, just kind of leave them sitting there in the dust like the ancient people should be. And by that, I mean the elderly. Have you guys seen the TikTok hearing? My God, America is in the mud. Why do people over 60 get to have an opinion? Like, sorry, dad, but let's be honest here. It ain't good. Like, if you need to ask that, does TikTok access my Wi-Fi network? I don't think you should be allowed to access the Wi-Fi network. You should be permanently stuck to using like a calculator for your entertainment and nothing else. Here we are at the location. Not too bad, actually. This one might be a bit closer than Madrazo's house, so I might be wrong about what I said, but we only lost $186 on that and about 1.5k previously. So I think we got, again, about 78k, 79k from that one. So absolutely lovely. We were down at 30k after we bought the warehouse. Now we're up at 200k in about like 25 minutes of doing those missions. So again, while it's not as good as doing Cayo, the auto shop contracts, the contract, the diamond casino, blah, 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 it's very solo friendly, very beginner friendly, and very fun in my opinion. I think I might be a psychopath, you know. Okay, so as you can see, we're back at the CEO office, and why might that be? Well, that's because there is another part to the CEO office that I have not shown in any video yet. Obviously, in episode 1, 2, and I think a few others of the series, we did the crate warehouse, which we sell crates and it is painful. This episode, we've taken a look at the vehicle warehouse, but there is one final bit to this business. We can see that on the right, there is special vehicle work. Now, as you can see, it says special vehicle work will become available once you have completed enough vehicles. vehicle cargo job. So basically the way this works is very similar to the way it works in the bunker, whereas you have to complete enough of these to unlock the missions in here. And the missions in here include a few different ones. As you can see on the thumbnail there, or the image, we have the truck with the nose on it. Phantom Wedge, that's what it's called. I feel like Truck with Nose is a more enticing name personally, but you have that. I think the Blazer Aqua might be on there. You have the Ramp Buggy, and there's a bunch of different special vehicle works, which is how you get the discounts for these vehicles. But they're also just fun missions to do in general. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is complete a few more vehicle cargoes on my own, as well as just sourcing vehicles to unlock one of these missions. I believe the Ramp Buggy is the first with 4 of these missions done. So I'm gonna come back when I've done those and then show you some of the special vehicle work, which I'm sure will be a great laugh, and maybe some tears as well, who knows. Oh god, I hate this one if I'm being honest. So there is a bunch of enemies and I have to kill them all. Oh well. I kind of forget I have the minigun sometimes. Let's just use that. Easy. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Bye. 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 I hope I don't blow up my car. That's probably a bad idea to shoot too much. And if I didn't show it earlier, I have the Zentorno, which is a supercar, but for some reason it's only mid-range. I don't really get why that's a thing, but oh well. It is what it is. I think I've damaged it. Wait. The window's fully smashed, the front one, and then the left window's fully broken. Or the right window, I should say. And it has a 0% repair cost? That doesn't make much sense. Like, I'm not complaining, but get your shit together. Lad, really? You drove off the road to hit me. Do you have a personal vendetta? Do you want me to slap that ass of yours? Because I happily will, as long as it's thick, juicy, and plump. Someone needs to tape my mouth shut. Easy. Smoked him. And there we go. Special vehicle work has been unlocked. Go to your office and access this on your computer. So I wasn't sure if it was sell me... I was about to say sell vehicles. I wasn't sure if it was sell vehicles or... Well, no, I'm still saying the wrong thing. Oh my, I'm so useless. Why do you guys watch me? I wasn't sure if it was sourcing vehicles or selling vehicles that was necessary to take the 4 unlocks to unlock the missions. That probably still didn't make any sense. Should I give up on YouTube at this point? Fucking hell. But apparently it is only sourcing the vehicles that matters. So, for example, with the first mission of special vehicle work, it is the ramp car, I believe. And you need to source 4 vehicles to unlock it. And then the subsequent missions, you'll need to source, I don't know, 8, 12, 16, I don't know what the exact numbers are, amount of vehicles to unlock them. So that's how it works. So I believe by the time you fill up your warehouse once, which is 40 vehicles, you should have unlocked all of the special vehicle missions. So there you go. There's the absolutely terribly said information for you guys. Hope you understood even an ounce of it, because I didn't. So I know I've already asked you to comment in this video about like what vehicles I should buy, but I also want to ask you for one other thing. Can you please rate my intelligence on a scale from 1 to 10? If it's above a 5 on average from all of you guys, I'm very disappointed. And now we can do special vehicle work. And like I said, the ramp buggy is the first one, and the Ruiner 2000 is the last one, requiring 32 source missions completed. So like I said, once you go ahead and source your warehouse to the max, which is 40, you'll be able to unlock all these missions and go ahead and do them and unlock the trade prices for all these vehicles. Obviously, these vehicles aren't all incredible. The ramp buggy is very fun. The Phantom Wedge is actually useful for, I believe, a way of doing Cayo Perico, so you can do that. The Rocket Voltic's kind of just cool. The Ruiner 2000 is also kind of just cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the ramp buggy mission. Now, annoyingly with these missions, you need another person. So let's hope someone plays with me. So guys, I'm being completely honest here. When I sat in the lobby for the mission for literally 30 minutes straight and not a single person wanted to join. Now, I don't blame them. I know these missions don't give you a lot of money and they're old, but like, come on, man. So instead, we are going to go to this blue dot. You see, I'm in this weird dilemma because I want to make sure the video is like long enough and enjoyable enough and has enough stuff in it for you guys. But at the same time, like, I don't want to like put myself through hell waiting for a single soul to join. I think about 50 different people blocked my account because I invited them to a mission, which I didn't think it was that much of a sin, but apparently it is. I think what I'm going to go and do instead is over time, I'm going to fill up my warehouse and unlock all of the special cargo missions. And then what I'm going to do is invite 3 of you, 3 of my viewers, or maybe I'll invite multiple of you for different missions and go ahead and do all of the special cargo missions in one video. And that will be a video of itself in the next few weeks or months. I think that makes a bit more sense because then I'm kind of doing them all at once as well, rather than just doing one now and a few in other videos. So to finish off this video, we're going to just do some random stuff, which is very entertaining, as I'm sure you can tell. But here we go, exotic exports list. We're going to deliver this to the docks for cash and RP. Exhilarating. But that is one of the sad things about GTA Online nowadays, because there's been so much content over such a long period of time. There's so many things like the special cargo work, like the bunker work, and a few other missions here and there that just no one ever will play anymore. Like, they're just forgotten to times. And there's fair reason for it, like one of them being that they don't make much money anymore, and everyone in this game has the biggest grind set of all of the universe, basically. There's also the fact that a lot of people have done them before, so revisiting them isn't as entertaining. But it is kind of sad to see, because there's so much content that is actually enjoyable, but because of the mentality people have towards this game, it will just never get shown again. So put down in the comments below, this is the third time I've asked you to comment something, but just stick with me. Put down in the comments below what pieces of like forgotten content or content that isn't as popular as it once was you'd like to see on the channel, because if there's some interesting things there, we can definitely go ahead and do them, invite you guys in a stream, go ahead through some of the other bits of forgotten content and make it into a video, because I think it'd be really cool to explore some of the... How quickly did that car get into that crate? What the hell? But explore some of the more, you know, unexplored areas of GTA for the newer players that haven't really been playing since day one. Could be playing golf, could be playing tennis, could be some missions that you want to see. Just let me know and we can see if we can get those done. And I think I know exactly how to end this video off. This video has been focused on driving cars for my vehicle warehouse. So what better way than to drive some cars in a race? I do want to do an episode or two later on, or maybe a stream where I do proper racing against either viewers or randoms. But I think for this video, I'm going to join a random race and see if I can win. It won't happen, but let's give it a shot. All right, we have 3 people. There's a 4th. This is going to be the most exciting thing you've ever seen in your entire life. The open wheel road to ruin race against 3 other people. Oh, you've never seen anything like it. 5 people. Let's go! Things are getting real hype now. No, I got the wrong helmet. No! I look so disgusting. But ayo, let's do this thing. I look so bad. I made a mistake. Am I at the back of the pack? Really? You're gonna do me like that, Rockstar? Come on, man. That's just disrespectful. Let's see if my driving skills from today have improved any amount. Also, this is non-contact, so kind of a bit more boring than usual, but I guess this means I get to prove my skill in entirety. It's only about skill, not about crashing into each other and being a bastard the whole race, which is what most GTA races are, let's be completely honest here. But then again, that is what makes it fun. So, you know, I say a lot at the end of sentences, expecting to say something else and continue the sentence with some sort of meaningful content. Comment was the word I meant to say. But then I end up saying nothing and acting like an absolute fool. It's kind of embarrassing. 1 player's left already. Guess we're just too good for him. The smoke got to him, couldn't handle the heat. We're sitting in 3rd right now, 2 people ahead of us. They may have custom cars. I'm not sure about that, because he is very far ahead. Like, he may just be a good driver, don't get me wrong, but you may be able to use your custom vehicle in here, which would make sense how he's so far ahead, like a ridiculous amount. Lap 3 of 15? I didn't even realize there's 15 laps to this. No.